What if the most important person in your life was right in front of you, but you were too busy to notice? This story might change the way you see the people around you, especially those we often overlook. In a bustling town, there lived an old man named Arthur. He was a quiet soul, with eyes that held the wisdom of 1,000 sunsets. Every day, he would sit on the same park bench, watching the world rush by. He'd try to share stories with the young people who passed, tales of a time before smartphones and hurried lives. But they were always too busy, their ears filled with music from their headphones, their eyes glued to their screens. "Not now, old-timer," they'd say, or just walk past without a glance. Arthur's voice, filled with gentle warnings and life-earned lessons, would fade into the city's noise, and heard. The children were told to stay away from the strange old man on the bench. So, Arthur sat alone, his stories trapped within him, a treasure no one wanted to find. One day, a young artist named Lily moved to town. She was struggling, her canvases blank, her inspiration lost. She saw Arthur on his bench, a solitary figure in a sea of motion, and like the others, she felt a pull, a curiosity. She sat down, not too close, and just started to sketch. Arthur watched her. A faint smile on his lips. He didn't speak, he just sat, and for the first time in a long time. Someone stayed. Day after day, Lily returned. She sketched the trees, the birds, the hurried faces, and finally, she sketched Arthur. As her charcoal pencil moved across the paper, a comfortable silence grew between them. Finally, one sunny afternoon, Lily broke the silence. "You have kind eyes," she said softly. Arthur looked at her, truly looked at her, and saw a flicker of the same loneliness he felt. He began to speak, his voice a little rusty at first. He told her about the great oak tree in the park, how he planted it with his father when he was just a boy. He told her about the time the river flooded the town, and how everyone came together, neighbors helping strangers, rebuilding side by side. He spoke of love found and lost, of simple joys and deep sorrows. His stories weren't just random memories, they were lessons wrapped in emotion. He spoke of the importance of listening to the wind, of watching the ants build their homes, of finding beauty in the smallest of things. Lily listened, completely captivated. His words were like rain on her dry, artistic soul. She started to see the world differently. She saw the history in the old buildings, the stories in the faces of strangers, the resilience in the weeds growing through sidewalk cracks. Her art transformed. She wasn't just sketching objects anymore, she was capturing feelings, moments, and the invisible threads that connect us all. Her paintings became vibrant, filled with a depth and emotion she never knew she had. She painted Arthur's stories, bringing his memories to life on her canvas. She painted the community rebuilding after the flood, the joy of a young boy planting a tree, the bittersweet beauty of a love story. If you're finding value in this story, if it's touching your heart, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us create more content that matters, and you won't want to miss what happens next. Sharing this story could also brighten someone else's day. Word of Lily's incredible new art spread through the town. A local gallery offered her an exhibition. On opening night, the place was packed. People stood in awe before her paintings. They weren't just looking at pictures, they were feeling the stories. An elderly woman wept before a painting of a wartime farewell. A young man stared intently at the depiction of the community spirit after the flood. They saw their own grandparents, their own town, their own lives reflected in the art. At the center of the exhibition was a simple, powerful portrait of Arthur, his eyes twinkling with unspoken tales. He was there, standing quietly in a corner, watching. Lily found him and brought him to the front. "I want you all to meet my inspiration," she announced, her voice filled with emotion. "This is Arthur. The stories you see on these walls, they are his. I was just the one lucky enough to listen." A hush fell over the crowd. The same people who had rushed past him, who had ignored his gentle voice, now looked at him with newfound respect and awe. They saw not just an old man, but a guardian of their town's history, a wellspring of wisdom. From that day on, everything changed. The park bench was never empty. People of all ages came to sit with Arthur, not out of pity, but out of a genuine desire to listen. They brought him warm tea and blankets. They asked him about the past. They shared their own fears and dreams. The young people took off their headphones. They learned about courage, resilience, and the simple, profound joy of human connection. Arthur, once the town's invisible man, became its most cherished treasure. He taught them that every person, young or old, carries a library of stories within them. And all it takes is a moment of kindness to open the book. Lily's career flourished, but she always said her greatest masterpiece was not a painting, but the friendship she built by simply choosing to listen. This story reminds us that wisdom and beauty are often found where we least expect them. In the quiet voices we're often too busy to hear. Everyone has a story worth telling. Let's be the ones who choose to listen. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more inspirational content, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Your support means the world to us. See you in the next video.